Okay, y'all, so welcome back to part 2 of my eyeshadow palette collection, because I have so many. We had to do part 2 because I talk too much about random things that don't have anything to do with what the hell we're talking about. So let's get into this one. I thought I had got all my stragglers, but apparently not. So I have the Sir John and Luminous palette here. It was hidden away underneath some palettes that I had 2 and 3 of, so I thought it was just one of those. But that's what the inside looks like. Now, y'all know this isn't typically my color story, but I love the pops of blue he added, and the mattes in here actually worked pretty well. I heard other people saying they didn't necessarily like them, but I didn't have any problem with them, and y'all know I be struggling with eyeshadow sometimes, but this one worked out for me well. So, you know, I figure people just have different formula preferences, and that's why they necessarily didn't like this palette, but, you know, it worked for me, so I'm down with it. It's a vibe. And I love me some Sir John, so I was definitely cool with it. This is the new nude palette from Huda Beauty. I don't own that many Huda Beauty big palettes. I only own 2. I didn't buy the rose gold textured. I didn't buy the new rose gold. I didn't buy the desert dust for myself. I bought it and put it in like the Christmas giveaway last year. But this is what it looks like. Now these are my types of nude. Like, to me, this is nude. Like mauves and berry tones, that's what I consider nude for my skin tone. That's why whenever Huda makes a nude palette, I'm more than willing to buy it, because I know it's going to be the type of nude that I like. She likes mauvey and you know, berry tone nudes, and I can appreciate that, because that's the type of nude I'm willing to tolerate. That's my aesthetic for nude, not golds and browns and all that type of stuff. I said that before, though, when I showed her, like, nude rich palette. But this is the Mercury Retrograde. Now, I actually do not like this palette. You thought I would, because, you know, it has a unique and fun color story. I don't know, though. Like, these feel like, they don't feel like Super Shock shadows. They don't have, like, a good shimmer, I don't know. They don't have good payoff when it comes to shimmer, as far as I'm concerned. I feel like they just are more like toppers, and it's like, with that kind of, you know, shine in the pan, I'm expecting it to give that on the eye, not give it a light wash of color. Like, I don't know what she was thinking with that, but I do not like this palette because of that. And I only really like the top row and the bottom row. Like, the middle row is just like whatever. So I was thinking about decluttering this, actually, because I'm like, I don't know. But at the same time, like, this shade I got in here called, what is it, Galaxy, it broke. So I'm like, I don't really sell it to anybody, and then it's broken. So that's why I think I just keep it, because otherwise I would most likely get rid of this, because I was not impressed with this palette at all. I know lots of other people like it, but it's just not that great to me, especially for the price, because that thing cost $67. Now, I didn't pay $67 because I was like, hell no, it ain't worth that to me at all. I have a couple of Nobler palettes. I want to get the new little cutie berry one that they have, but it's sold out at Ulta right now, so when it gets back in stock, I might pick it up then. But I just didn't want to order from their website, because I know it's going to be an arm and a leg, because when I ordered this one, it was an arm and a leg, because they're, you know, if I remember, I think they're an Italian-based brand, or European-based brand. I know that much. But this is the Dreamy palette. I got rid of my Dreamy 2 palette just because I didn't like it. I bought it based upon Mel Thompson's recommendation, but it's not as good as this one. Like, I wasn't impressed with it, so I gave rid of mine. I'm just stick to this classic one. I like this one. I like the formula of it. I think it did a really good job. I feel like with the new one, they tried to change it up with a whole bunch of different, like, formulas of shadows, and I didn't, like, take to that very well. I felt like they should have just stuck with what they had. I mean, I know it's okay to grow and change, but it's like Natasha Denona does that too, and has a lot of duds, so I feel like a lot of brands should keep that in mind too. This is Soul of Blooming eyeshadow palette. It's what it looks like on the inside. I really like this palette. When I first saw it, I wanted to get it, but I listened to Mariah Leonard and Jay Kisson when they talk about how it wasn't as good as the first one. I think it is just as good as the first one, and I personally like this one. The only thing is, again, I had to order this from their website, so I waited till they had a sale and then bought it, and I bought it, like, literally, like, I think in 2019. I think this came out in 2018 or 17, because I haven't watched Jay Kisson in, like, years. But anyway, I really like this palette. Y'all know I like this little section right here mainly. I mean, like, the peachiness is okay, but I really just prefer the purples, and I don't really care about the neutrals, as we all know. I feel like I don't need to keep reiterating it. So yeah, that's the Soul Blooming palette. Those are only 2 Nobler palettes I have. Like I said, if the berry one goes on sale or it comes back to Ulta, I'll buy it, but otherwise I'm not really concerned about getting it, because we all know I have all these tones a million times over, because there's clearly a drawer full of eyeshadow palettes, and a lot of them, I'm sure, look the same to you. This is the Juicy Olive palette from Give Me Glow. This is actually the first Give Me Glow palette I bought. When they had their Sugar Rush collection that was supposed to come out, that they ended up having to change the name of, because Tarte had, like, copyrighted it or branded it or whatever. I bought a single from that, and I really like that shimmer, so that's why I was like, okay, maybe I'll try a palette. Their mattes are okay, they're decent. I really look to them for shimmers though. Like I feel like a couple of these mattes are too similar, like this one and this one. This one's a little lighter than this one, but you know, I still like the palette overall, and I like this one way better than Gemini. I feel like this is like a miniature Gemini. If you don't want to buy Gemini and you're just concerned about the greens in there, I would definitely recommend you get the Juicy Olive palette. This palette is amazing and I really like it, and that's what makes me buy their palettes from now on, because this is a really nice palette. So then I saw that they had the vintage rose and I was like, yes, I need that as well, give it to me. So then when I saw the color shade on the inside of this, I liked it a lot. I really like this pink shade. If y'all remember, I did a Valentine's look with this palette because I had put a bunch of palettes on Instagram and asked you what you wanted to see for Valentine's Day. And people said this one and Jackie Ina's palette. And it was one other palette I ended up doing. I did one with the Fenty one, and then I did one with the Amrezy one. So anyway, I really like this palette as well, and I feel like if you want to use some of the darker greens to darken up your V even more, you can use the Juicy Olive in combination with this one, and then you use like maybe this dark green all over the lid, and then use like one of the shimmers in there instead. Anyway, I feel like both those palettes work well together, and I really like the formula of both of these palettes. Now, their new one that they're coming out with, I was kind of disappointed with, because the extra spicy one just looks really, you know, like Yes Please, Sunrise, Sunset, Natasha Denona type vibe. So I was just like, oh, I was kind of disappointed in them for that, but I'm like, you know, the outer, and then there was like no green in sight, which I was confused about, because I'm like, they could have used the green from the stem, but I don't know if they felt like they had been using too much green recently, because the last two palettes I showed you had the green in it from them, so I figured they thought we were on like green overload, and they didn't want to be like Milk Cosmetics where every palette just about had the green in it. Or maybe that's how they thought people would feel. I don't know. But I feel like they should have put a green in that palette. And some reds. And then maybe threw in maybe a yellow and like an orange or something. But I'm probably going to get it still. And then it can be a Give Me Glow palette I can have in my grandma's house. But I'm not really in love with the color story of that palette. Anyway, let's talk about this Dose of Color situation. So I only have 2 of these. I used to have like 5. I got rid of Sassy Siennas and Blushing Berries just because I don't really like those color stories that well. And I got rid of Snow Angel just because I felt like the blues in there were like really difficult to blend and deal with. And I have plenty of other blue shades. A whole palette of blue that you all saw in the first one that is better. So I just didn't want to hold on to those. Plus, we know I don't really like oranges and reds, so I don't know what the hell I was thinking buying those. I think I was just excited they had came out with new palettes, so I bought them. But I like that she does a lot of cool tones, because I feel like people have forgotten about cool tones. And I remember Urban Decay used to do a whole bunch of cool tones, I'm told. I wasn't into makeup when Urban Decay was like making all their cool tone naked palettes or whatever, so... But this is the Marvelous Mauves. As you can see, I love this one. It's kind of dirty down there, and the mirror is dirty. So I feel like that lets you know I really liked this palette. I still like it. I don't reach for it nearly as much because I don't do as much monochromatic that often. I prefer to, you know, like have shimmers. And even with those, like I prefer to have shimmers, so I would grab a single or something. But Pretty Cool is my favorite when it comes to these two. Pretty Cool is just gorgeous because I can do a simple smoky toned eye look really quick. And then again, just grab a random shimmer shade and go on my day. But this palette is beautiful, and this is my favorite between the 2 monochromatic ones. I saw that they repackaged them or whatever, but I was like, I'm not gonna buy it just because they repackaged it. Like, I don't care. These work just fine. I'm gonna keep those. Next I have the I Love Side Eat and Dose of Colors palette. So I feel like this palette will actually pair well with both of those, because I can just take the shimmers out of here and use them with those 2 palettes. But they look really nice. I didn't use this palette nearly as much as I thought I was going to, but I think I just got sucked in by the Pop of Blue effect. I don't really like this one because all the shimmer falls out on your face, so you should do your eyes first if you're going to use that shade in this palette in particular. It's a nice palette. It's just, you know, it's kind of small, and I forget about it just because, you know, the color story isn't like exceptional. However, Desi and Katie's palette, I love this. This is actually my backup. I have one in my grandma's house, and this was my brand new backup because I love this palette that much. And I was like, when it leaves, I want to still have one. So sometimes I'll do that. It's rare that I'll do that, but some people I really like that I'll just have a backup of their palettes. And I really love Desi Perkins, so that's why I have a backup of this palette, because I think Desi is wonderful. Plus, I love Dirty Money and A Moment. I don't like Just a Kiss. I know everybody likes Just a Kiss, but I'm not a Just a Kiss fan. I'll use it every once in a full moon to put on top of this red shade right here. I forgot the name of it. But the shimmers in this palette are what makes it special to me, because otherwise it's like these other shades I don't care about. As usual, there's always this one shade I can't use, so it has this one. But, you know, I guess I'll let it slide because it's Desi. But... yeah, That's my Dose of Colors collection. As you can see, it's not that big. I do have singles and stuff, but I didn't feel like going through all that either because I was like, girl, it's just too much. It's just too much. It's just too much. Now I'm going to get into one of my other favorite brands that's woman owned and influencer owned, Persona Cosmetics. Now I did Kirsten in the first one, so I figured I'd do Sona in the second one. I have both the Theory palettes. This is the what is this? The Brick Theory, I think it's called. Let's see what the back of it says. Oh, it's a Copper Theory color palette. Like, I don't really use this one that often. I feel like you all should know why. I'm not a warm tone girl by any means, so this one isn't, you know, my bag. It performs nicely, and when I occasionally do want a warm tone, it is one of the things I do like try to reach for because I really like Sona's formula eyeshadow. But y'all know the Pink Theory. This one right here, this is me, all that. Now the only thing I don't necessarily like about this one is it's all matte, but that's okay because there's shimmers in this one. So I usually just go in this one and take like this off-white shade and put that in the inner corner and just like do a monochromatic look with this. So both of these palettes are wonderful. Sona's formula is amazing. Now, please keep in mind you have to buy these in a set. So you have to buy like the bag, and it comes with a brush and what do you call it? It comes with the brush and that and an eye pencil. Yeah. So they have a plum eye pencil and then I think like a brown eye pencil that comes in those bags. But Persona Cosmetics has great quality stuff. This is the Identity palette. So this is the first one. And that's the second one down there. I think I've done videos with both of them. Or I did a palette combination where I did a video using both of the palettes together. I wasn't really that fond of this one just because, you know, it's not colorful. So that's why I was happy she came out with these little Theory palettes because at least they had some color in them. The formula of it was fine. Like, I really, really love the shade Chic down here. But, of course, it's one of those purpley mauve-y type shades. So, of course, y'all know. I really like Bombshell as well. So, those are a couple. And Maverick, those are a few of my favorite shades in this palette. And Charming is pretty nice, too. But I think Andrea Montanalo was raving about how much she likes that palette. This is the Identity 2 palette. This is what it looks like. Now, y'all know this one is definitely more my speed. I love this blue in the corner. I like this yellow and, gold. And then the green. This color over here is okay too, Empowered. And I like the fact that they had their followers name the palette. Or name the colors in the palette. I thought that was really cute and really nice. And then in the box of this palette, I forgot how many people bought the palette. They put their name inside the box. Because they were having their Identity too. And I think it's the anniversary of the palette when it came out or something to that effect. If I remember from Sona's video, that did come out a while ago. So if I got it wrong, Sona, my bad. Next, I'm going to go into Viseart. I have some more Visearts. I just forgot to bring them in here because I had to do future videos on them. And I had already come in here and started filming part 1, so I had to go out and grab them just to do part 2. But I do have the Neutral 2 palette, the one with the blue and the purpley shade at the bottom, as opposed to just like the all cool tone matte one. I got the warm tone neutral one, volume 2. I think that's supposed to be warm tone, I'm not sure, but y'all know this is my first Viseart palette. Of the big ones, this is a dark matte. It was on sale, I think, for like $60 on Sephora, and then they had the extra 20% off sale going on, so I had to grab it. I just had to. And I normally like to use this one with my shapeshifter stack from Male Cosmetics. Like, this is just my perfect combination when it comes to this palette. But I kind of want to try to use it on its own and see if I like a look I come out with it. Like, I was thinking about using this and this shade as a look, because as you can see, you all probably know I just gravitate toward these right here. I haven't used either one of these, or either one of these. So this little warm section right here in the palette, I haven't used it all, but I've used everything else. So I think I might do a look with these in the future. I don't know when, so don't quote me. But it's a really nice palette, and it's my favorite. One of my favorite Viseart palettes. This is my second favorite Viseart palette. This is the Editorial Brights palette. I think this is what it's called. Yeah, Editorial Brights. This one is in the new packaging, as you can see. I bought this one off of Beauty Bay when it was on sale. I try to find these on sale because I find them somewhat often on sale. So when I find them on sale, I try to buy them then. So when this was on sale, I think it was like $60 as well. I went ahead and bought it. And then when Beautylish had their sale, that's when I finally got the big granddaddy I wanted. Because one of my followers actually tagged me in this and was telling me how she knew I would like it or whatever. So I'm assuming that's why she tagged me in it. And she was right. Like, I saw the color story and I just knew. And when y'all see the color story, you'll know why she tagged me in it too. So shout out to you, girl. I got it, as you can see. It took me a while, but I got it. I think it was on sale for like $100 when I bought it, because when she tagged me in it, it was like regularly priced, I think, $175. And I was like, who, what, where, who's, what, excuse me? Like, with eyeshadow, I don't mind spending that much, but I don't know. It's weird as this. Like, Viseart isn't one of the brands I'd be willing to drop like a whole bunch of money on. And I know that probably sounds really stupid, because it's like, you know, I'll drop it on Pat McGrath and occasionally Natasha Denona, like, in a heartbeat. But it's like, when it comes to Viseart, I just be like, ooh, no, I don't know. And I don't know why that is, because it's like, I know the matte formula is fine. I think it's because I haven't really done the shimmer formula. Oh, that was what it was. So I bought the Koi palette as well, too, because I want to put the Koi palette with this palette and see how the eye look works out. So, but I already hauled this one in the video, so that's why I'm going ahead and showing it to you now. But that one is in a future haul, which is why it's not in here right now. But yeah, I own 6 Viseart palettes. So I got one of those little pro palettes too when they were on sale. Now let's get into the stuff I have lots more stuff of, and then we should be done. So this is the rest of my ColourPop collection. Let's move Jackie over real quick. This is the rest of my ColourPop collection right here. As you can see, I got quite a few. So I have the Sailor Moon one, and I loved watching Sailor Moon as a kid. I was a huge like Sailor Moon person, so of course y'all know I had to have this palette, right? So we gonna show that off. Now, I felt like the color story in here, I don't know, like, it's okay. I don't know what I expected the Sailor Moon palette to look like, but it wasn't this. Then, of course, they just had to put one of those obnoxious plush glitters in here and just kill my entire vibe. Like, why do you keep doing that? We don't want it. We told you we don't want it. Stop putting it in here. And then, like, it seems like every other shade in here is one of those sequin shimmers. So, it's like, to me, this palette really just is a mess, because it has all these sequin mattes in it. Then you put this damn glitter in it that nobody wants. We keep telling you we don't want this shit. And then all the other shades, for the most part, are too light. So I feel like the only ones I can really use are the bottom row and like maybe a couple of shimmers. So to me, this is probably more likely gonna be a collector's thing, just because it's like the majority of this I can't use. And this is similar to the color that's in the Diypansy palette that we talked about in part 1 of this video. So it's like, this to me is just a collector's palette. For someone my skin tone, I don't feel like this is gonna be working well. So I hope you better just use this collector's piece, sis, because you was like a huge Sailor Moon fan like I was. Otherwise, don't even waste your coin, your time, your effort, sis. Don't do it. I'll probably try to use it again one more time before I just make it, you know, collector status. But as far as I'm concerned, it's just collector status, because what am I supposed to do with that? Now, this one has finally been discontinued, sadly. This is one of my favorite Kathleen Lights collaboration palettes. This is the Dream Street palette. I think she did a great job with this palette. I don't understand the random pop of red, but like, she was just ahead of her time, because, you know, I don't know if ABH was inspired by her to do the Sultry palette when they just did their random ass pop of red with their boring palette. But I don't feel like her palette is boring, but that's mainly because it has blues and it's like this weird cool dual chrome in it. So I really like this palette. To me, this is a great palette. Now, I think I've only used this palette like 3 times, because as I told y'all in the first video, ColourPop isn't a brand I use a lot. I own a lot, but I don't use that much, because I always reach for the higher end stuff, because I'm like, I paid way more for it. If this expires, it's not as big deal. But if Pat McGrath expires, then I'm not finna have an attitude. So this one is another like collector's type thing for me, because, you know, you can't get that palette anymore now, and if you do, somebody's gonna try to charge you $40 on Poshmark just because they know you can't get it anymore. This is the Good Sport palette. This is discontinued as well. So I'm noticing a lot of my ColourPop that I keep is discontinued, and then the stuff that I don't hold on to, I might not necessarily like, besides the monochromatic stuff that I have gotten rid of. I think they still have, I don't know, but this is what it looks like. And this is what I was telling y'all, like, I feel like the Prelude Chroma palette is another version of this palette, and since they discontinued this palette, you can always go grab that one. I mean, this color stories aren't exactly the same, but I feel like they're somewhat similar to where you can create a similar look to it. But I really love this palette, and I'm going to hoard mine, because when I first saw it, I loved it. I was gonna buy a backup, and I kind of wish I had, because I really like that color story. But you know, I have so many palettes, so it doesn't matter. I have the Sweet Nothings palette. This was discontinued as well. Like, every ColourPop palette I have damn near is discontinued now I think about it, like I said. So this is a cool tone purple palette. This was their holiday collection at Ulta. I had the I think it was a Rendezvous one that they had to match it. I left that one in my grandmother's house, though, because I have a similar color story here at home already from a high-end brand, so I feel like I didn't need that. But this is what it looks like. I think it's really pretty. I like it. Y'all know how I am about my purple, so I'm keeping it. Another one that is discontinued. This is the I Think I Love You. I didn't like the double entendre, so I didn't keep it. I felt like that worked better for somebody of a lighter skin tone, and since obviously I'm a deeper skin tone, that's not gonna work for me. But this color story works for me a lot better, so I really like this one. When I need a neutral palette that I don't mind taking with me, and if I lose it or something happens to it, it's not that big a deal. This is that palette for me, so I would take like this one on vacation if I didn't need to take a neutral palette and I didn't concern myself about it was going to break or not. I don't like to take high-end palettes on vacation. That's another reason I keep ColourPop palettes, and I know that's a stupid reason, but I like them. I already own them, so I might as well. This is the Holiday 2018 collection, I believe. This is the Chasing Rainbows palette. I actually really like this palette. As y'all can see why, though. Like, because the middle row and the bottom row of the rows I like. The top row is just a row to me. I mean, this yellow shade looks kind of nice, but otherwise, I'm not really a big fan of that. Oh, crap, my leg is asleep. Oh, please. Oh, thank God, that's so much better. Okay, yeah, so this one I really like it. I'm gonna hold on to that as well. I have the one from 2017, the All I See Is Magic palette. I don't know where it is though, so that's why it's not in here. I think I had ended up putting it up for sale, and that's why I don't have it like in my collection anymore as far as keeping it. Now, y'all know how I feel about this palette. If I had to make a palette, this is what it looked like. Shayla did that. I've owned like 3 of this palette. That's how much I really like it. I have one at my grandmother's house now. I have this one here. And then, like, when I originally had a camera person, she took the one backup I had at my grandmother's house, which is why I had to buy another one and ended up having to buy like 3 of this palette. But it was so worth it. Shayla did an excellent job with this palette. This one hasn't been used that much because the one I use the most is the one that's at my grandma's house. Like, I don't know, for some reason, are you all like that? When it's like certain places you leave certain palettes, you always want to use them there, but like when you have this like at home, you don't think to reach for it. I think it's because my collection is so much smaller there, as you all will see in my lipstick declutter there, and my foundation and concealer declutter there. Since I have so little product there, I'm more excited about certain things that I have there as opposed to other things. But anyway, Shayla did an excellent job on this palette. I will be sad when they discontinue. I might buy a back of it just to have here. I'm thinking I might not need to though, just because I already have the one at my grandma's house, and I can just leave this one as my keepsake one. So that's probably what'll happen. I don't know, but this is the I Love Saeed ColourPop Through My Eyes palette. This was her second palette because she did those 2 little palettes with the magnetic things you just pop in when they first came out. This is what it looks like. Like an idiot, I ended up actually digging my finger into the green shade, which is why it's so raggedy and jacked up. I haven't used it that much. I like the color story of this palette. Okay. I like Shayla's color story better, but I appreciate that she didn't put a whole bunch of nudes in this palette. I can definitely appreciate that. I can't use this color though, or that color. And then she used some of those what do they call them? Sequin mattes. Like this one right here is a sequin matte. I hate shades like that. So I think that might be why I don't reach into this one that much. Not to mention, it's like I have other palettes that have like, I mean, not the exact color story, but I have so many palettes. So it's like sometimes I just don't think to reach for certain things. The last palette I have in here from ColourPop is this is I think my last ColourPop purchase other than the monochromatic ones as far as collabs go. This is the Kathleen Lyson ColourPop palette. This is what it looks like. I'm mad. She put pressed glitters in here too. Like, what the hell is up with you people in these pressed glitters? We don't want them. Stop it. But overall, I like the palette for the most part. Now, y'all know I waited forever to get this because I was like, I'm not paying full price. I'm so sorry. So when they had their sale, I think it ended up being like 23 bucks, and that's when I went ahead and bought it. It was 23 or 27 because this thing was like, it went like $38 or $40 or something like that, and I was like, I just can't do it. I'm so sorry, because I know I don't reach for ColourPop enough to like justify the price. But I've actually reached for this like a few times. I started a series on Instagram with it. I need to finish making the videos in it, which is why it was in a box on the side. But yeah, this is the ColourPop palette I use the most, but that's because it costs the most. So I'm like trying to make myself be like, hey, heifer, you paid all this money for this, you need to go ahead and use it. So that's why I have been using it, and that's why I didn't want to pay the 40 bucks for it, because I knew it wasn't going to be a thing that got used a lot in my collection. Now let's finally get to ABH. Yeah, so of course I have 2 Jackie Aina palettes because I feel like I'm going to need one for collector's purposes and one for when I hit pan on some stuff. So when I hit pan on some stuff that I really like, then I'm just use the newer one and just use this as my forever memorialized palette to go with all the other Jackie Aina stuff that I have. Like y'all saw in the first video, I still have her elf palette, and then I have my Artist Couture glow powders, or diamond powders, I believe is what you call them. But anyway, this is what the palette looks like, and I have done quite a few videos with this because I felt like it didn't get its moment to shine. So I try to do as many videos as possible. I actually had it out recently too, to try to make another video with it. So that'll be like my 6th or 7th video. I think I've done 2 on Instagram and like 4 on my channel. I did a Valentine's Day look, I did a Christmas look, I did a Sweetest Day look, and then I think I originally did a look when it first came out, and then I did 2 looks on Instagram. So I've definitely been giving this palette some love, since I feel like a lot of people aren't. So I'm actually taking it out again to put in the box to make another look with. But this is my backup, and we just gonna stick it over there in the corner. Then I have the Amrezy palette. Let me take it out of the packaging. I kept it in the packaging because, you know, it's that raised glitter packaging like they did for the sultry palette, and like glitter doesn't fall off it nearly as much, but it still like falls off, and I didn't want glitter all in my drawer, and I didn't want the palette to not look as pretty as it did when I first bought it, because I'm not a person who likes to keep packaging, but because of the way this palette is set up, I didn't have any choice. Now, my favorite shades in here are Cupcake, Barb. Resi is okay. As you can see, it's quite messy. Leo is really messy, like ridiculously messy. I'm just like, oh my goodness. But I like this palette overall. However, since I know a lot of you will get BoxyCharm, I'll try to remember to leave in the cards above or at the end, in the end card, that this palette looks exactly like the Palm Springs palette that Jared came out with a while ago, that everybody got in their BoxyCharm a few months ago. So I tried to make sure I got the video up for it immediately when I had got this palette in the mail, so that way you all can see. It looks exactly the same. You're going to get similar looks to the point where you don't need to buy this palette, because this palette I think is like, isn't it like $40, $50, $4 or something like that, because she put extra 2 shades in there and pressed glitters and all the other stuff. And I was like, but this, just go ahead and buy Jared's palette, or just use the palette that Jared gave you in BoxyCharm and save your money. But I'm gonna do some more looks with that one, so we're gonna put that back in the box with the other stuff. Now this is the Carly Bible ebates palette. Now this palette truly disappointed me, because I only bought it for the top portion, and that's the portion everybody said was bad. The bottom I don't really like. I really like this color Bowie, and then I like all the shimmers at the top. The red shade at the bottom looks okay. I haven't tried it yet. That color looks okay. I did 2 looks with this palette, but I don't know if it's because Jackie's came out first, and like the color story of it was so amazing and wonderful, till it was just like, you know, and the formula is out of this world. And then to me, this one is just, you know, okay. It gives soft washes of color, but it's like, again, the way my whole skin tone is set up, soft wash of color ain't gonna cut it, sis. Like, we gonna need full opacity pigmentation, and I don't feel like that palette does it for me. So I will most likely declutter it in the future, but right now I'm just gonna hold on to it, or I might just keep it as like I like Carly Bible, so that's why I bought it. I didn't buy it at full price though, just because I was like, I know it's not gonna necessarily work out that well for me based upon things I've heard and people I've seen. But you know, I'm gonna keep it for now. I'll probably just keep it for good. But this is the Riviera palette. Now this one I was disappointed in, because I'm like, I expected to use way more and be way more excited about it, especially since it's like color from ABH. But I don't know, I feel like it just didn't perform as well as their other palettes do. I don't know if the formula isn't the same on this as on other ones. I've heard people say it's not. I don't feel like it is either. This one is one I need to declutter too, and just can't. I'll try to remember to link that one in the cards above again too. It's like palettes I need to get rid of, but I just can't. Like, this is one. The Huda Beauty one that we talked about, Mercury Retrograde, is one. The Carly Bible one is one. Like, some things like I need to get rid of because I don't ever use them. I'm not really concerned about them, but I just don't for whatever reason. And now we're going down to the classic ABH palettes. Now this is the original Subculture, not the one that you can find in TJ Maxx that they changed the formula on it that people are buying now and say it's fine. This is the original one with the balm and pigmentation and all that. I actually really like this palette, and we know I am not that great with eyeshadow at all, but I really like the formula of this, and the fact that you just lightly dip into it and use it. You just can't do monochromatic looks with this, or else, you know, like, it would get muddy up and you look a hot mess. So like, I might use like Axis all in the crease and on the outer V, and then just put like electric on the lid, or you might use Cube and then like just use All Star in the crease. Like, don't try to layer these colors on top of each other, because otherwise it's gonna be a whole hot mess. If you own the original one, that's my advice. I wanted to get the new one and see if it was different, but I kind of don't want to, because it's like I really like this one, and then I don't want to confuse which palette is which and then end up getting rid of the one I really like. So I'm think I'm gonna just hold on to this. Not to mention, it's not like you can go to TJ Maxx anymore anyway. Have you all heard, like I heard like Home Goods, TJ Maxx, and Marshalls might end up having to close because they're all owned by the same people, and they can't because of the way the economy is going right now, they might not be able to stay open. I know Hobby Lobby closed down and Neiman Marcus filed for bankruptcy. So I'm like, ooh, child, honey. Anyway, this is the Prism palette by ABH. I actually really like this palette as well. Like I like the year that they came out with all these cool, grungy, weird tone palettes instead of coming out with these same looks that they always came out with. So I appreciated Prism and Subculture. I thought both of them were absolutely wonderful, and I think and I'd like them to come out with more color stories like this in the future. But it seems like Norvina's kind of focused on like her little section of it. But I mean, the color story she comes out with are really nice and unique, so I appreciate that. Speaking of Norvina, I have the original Norvina palette. Now, this one is just okay to me. I feel like the colors in here don't work as well for some of my skin tone. Like, this one, base. What am I supposed to do with that? Not to mention it's one of those sequin ones. So, sequin, mattes. So, even if I could use it, I probably wouldn't because I don't like sequin mattes. Like, I don't like the little shimmer particles in it. The only one I wanted to use that is a sequin matte is, like, Soul and Love because I really like those two colors. And the shimmers in this palette, like, are amazing. Like, I feel like these shimmers are just like Jackie shimmers, or Jackie shimmers are just like these shimmers, I should say, since Jackie's palette came out after the fact. But yeah, like these are good. And as you can see, I've actually dug a line into rose gold. I know you all thought I would probably use Celestia more, but I like Wild Child, Celestia, and rose gold. So it's weird as it is, though, when I reach for purple palettes, I rarely, if ever, think of this palette to use, though. I think it's because it only has that one like purple matte in it, and I like to have a lot of purple mattes because, as y'all know, I'm a monochromatic queen over here, so I want to have all that going down. But the last one I have, believe it or not, is Soft Glam. And I ended up buying this because I didn't know, my first year of makeup, I didn't know that brands would have sales on their own websites that were just as good as like Ulta and Sephora and places like that. So I ended up buying this just because I was like so excited to see a ABH palette on sale for like $29. And it's not a bad palette. As you can see, I've used some of the colors in it. I use this color Sultry. I don't know if that's what inspired them to make the Sultry palette, but this palette was supposed to be made after Anastasia, the owner, her Norvina made this palette based upon her. And I mean, it's okay. I like the color Dusty Rose in here, and I like Sultry. That's usually what I do to make a look in here, or I might use like Cypress Umber and Mulberry, and again use Sultry. I mainly use Sultry out of this palette, or like Dusty Rose. But I mean, it's an okay palette. I think I've only used it like twice though, because it's just not that big a deal to me. The weird thing is, like, all my dupes I had of like these palettes, like I used the dupe of Prism way more. I use the dupe of Soft Glam way more. Like, I'll use the dupes of the palette in a heartbeat, but I won't use the palettes themselves. I don't know. It's really weird. ABH is one of those brands I like collect from, but I don't ever really use that much. And I know that sounds stupid, but like, you know, I feel like everybody has brands like that, and ABH is just my brand like that because I have plenty of palettes from them. I just don't ever really, you know, use them. I don't know why. I just don't. I guess because I have Pat McGrath and all the other stuff, and like I said, I'd rather like the super expensive stuff get used instead of, you know, ending up being expiring because it's so expensive. I don't want that to happen, so I'd rather just, you know, I'm trying to put stuff away as I go because it's like I know it's gonna take me a while to get all this stuff back up, and I'm like, it's not a vibe and I'm not here for it. So I figure if I start putting up now, then maybe I'll, you know, won't be as annoyed by all this because I still have to go to work tonight, like I told y'all. So it's like, this is going to be a whole nother thing. And it's just like, ugh. But anyway, let's get into the last two I have. My super expensive stuff. So y'all already know what time it is. We got Natasha Denona. And then Pat McGrath we will do last. I'm going to say Bath for last. I love me some Mother Pat. Okay, so I have the Love palette and the Sunrise palette. So this is what the Sunrise palette looks like. Y'all know this is not necessarily my aesthetic, but I figured we should try this formula against the original formula to see if they were going to be the same. That was mainly why I bought this palette. I wish I had waited, though, because I much prefer the Love palette underneath here. As y'all know, I'm most likely just using these colors and, like, those colors, and this was $65. I only used 5 colors out of it, so, like, that's disappointing. But, again, sometimes I have to buy stuff for YouTube videos, and then sometimes I just don't return it in time. And since I do like Natasha Denona's stuff sometimes, I figured I would just go ahead and keep it. Plus, it'd be good for reference in the future. Plus, if I hadn't, we wouldn't be able to do the dupe video comparing that one to the Alter Ego palette. So, it worked out for the channel's favor, just not necessarily for mine. But, you know, I guess I can eventually declutter it in the future if I don't, you know, see myself using it. And I really don't. This is a Natasha Denona Love palette. I really like this color story way better than the one I just showed you. I do not like that this is one of those cream to matte formulas though, and I think this one is a cream to matte formula, if I remember correctly, too. I don't know. Wait, no. I think it's Commitment that's a cream to matte formula. The cream to matte formula works better than it originally did when she first came out with it, because the cranberry palette had that in it, and I was like, oh, hell no. I'm not buying that at all. Absolutely. I mean, I'm not buying this at all when I heard about that, because that one worked terribly. I was wondering. I was like, why isn't this blending out the way it's supposed to? And it just looked really bad. She has, I guess, somewhat perfected after that, because everybody said the Metropolis palette was good, and Mel Thompson said this was okay, which is, again, made me halfway willing to try it. And she was right. It works okay. I still don't like that formula. I wish she wouldn't put it in stuff, because, you know, that makes me not want to buy it, because I don't want to have to deal with your cream to matte formula. Just stick to the mattes, or make, like, you know, a foily shimmery shadow or something, but I'm just not feeling this cream to powder situation. But the color of the palette is nice. I mean, the color story of the palette is nice, and, you know, I'll use it from time to time, but, you know, I'm hoping Alter Ego comes out with a dupe version of it, and it's not a cream to powder formula, because I just don't like that formula. I have the Natasha Denona Gold palette. Oh, by the way, all my Alter Ego palettes are at my grandmother's house, along with the Bad Habit ones, because I want to do a video about my conspiracy theories about them being the same. And I have a couple of palettes I feel like have similar color stories in it, so I'm going to do that there. That's why you're not seeing any of the Alter Ego palettes here, just to clear that up. I'm scared to lift this up, because the last time I showed y'all this in the Ranking of Natasha Denona videos, this gold shade completely just popped out. I looked out and I didn't have it in the pan. I was like, what the hell is this? And it fell out the pan like completely. Y'all was mad as hell, because this is my favorite Natasha Denona palette, if anyone is curious. I like this one, and I like the Safari palette the best. Those are my two favorites. But this one is gorgeous. Like, I love the tones in here. I'm not really big on golds and browns, but I mean, like, I feel like she did a really good job with this, and I actually, you know, like, went out and bought this when it originally came out. And y'all know I don't really lust after nude palettes, but I think I've just caught up in the Papa Blue moment. This is the Lila palette. I bought this like last year when, again, it was on sale, because I guess they had too many of them at Sephora or something, so it went on sale for I'm sorry, y'all, I don't even know when the camera like scooted over on its own, my bad. But this is the Lila palette. This is what it looks like on the inside. I have the dupe version of this from Bad Habit a while ago, and I actually like it better as far as the shimmers go than this. I don't know what it is about these shimmers, but I feel like they're just a light wash. They're not giving me like that shimmer pal pigmentation that I like, that you all know I like. So some of them are more like topper shades. Like this one right here, the one I was most excited about, it's more like a topper shade. I want it to be like a dual chromey type shimmer vibe, like, you know, indie brand gives me, and, you know, like, that's not what it's doing. So this palette's okay. I'll probably eventually declutter it too, just because I'm not super impressed with it. But that is my little Natasha Denona section. And the Tropic and Safari palettes aren't in here yet, because I'm still filming with those, and you all haven't even seen the haul where those came in. So that's why I was like, I'm not going to show them here, because this might go up before that. So I'm trying not to show anything that I haul, just in case I do have to put this up beforehand, because I'm kind of running a little long videos, because I've been having to do overtime, and y'all know I normally film on the weekend. So I mean, I have enough to last to like May the, I think, 17th or something, but we get an overtime till May the 17th. So if I can't film future ones, I'm like kind of concerned. So that's why I made myself get up and do this, even though I don't necessarily feel like it. Let's get started with the best for last Pat McGrath. So this is the Nocturnal Nirvana. I just ordered the Mothership 3 because she had the 25% off sale when you spent over 150. And y'all know that palette is 125. And then I bought a lipstick that I was looking at that I wanted from her. So I ended up getting 25% off that palette along with my lipstick, and I was happy about that. I'm actually going to go film part 1 of that haul. The other part that I just talked about, that eyeshadow palette and that lipstick, haven't shown up yet. So that's why I'm only filming part 1. So this C is blue, but then, it's green, but then when you turn it, it's like got a different color to it. I love this set. I love that she came out with just the special shades, because I'm like, everybody doesn't want to buy the eyeshadow palette. So buy the palette because of the price, but people always talk about these shades. So I thought it was brilliant that she came up with just these shades. Of course, y'all know I did not buy the boring like brown one with like the red and the gold, because it's like I already own the Mothership number 5, and I feel like that's got those same tones in it. So I was like, I don't need those tones twice over. But that is one of her best palettes. And I don't even like neutral shades like that or warm tones, as we know. But I really do like that palette. When I'm thinking of a neutral palette, that is like one of the main ones I reach for. This is Ritualistic Rose. I was disappointed by this quad just because I felt like the shimmers in it were, it's really similar to the Divine Rose palette she came out with. But, you know, like the quality of them is all the same, which I can appreciate. It's just I don't like this one as much as, and I heard what is her name? Karen Harris said she wasn't that big a fan of this one either. So as you can see, it's pink, but then when you turn it this way, it's like got this gold shift to it. My favorite color here is this one, and then I like to top this one on top. I don't really use either one of the golds. I used them in the video and swatched them just so you all could see, but when using this one, I would just go like straight across this way and use those two, and that'd be it. But I feel like it'd be good to pair with like the Huda Beauty New Nudes palette, or with that Kevin Kwan Nude Pop palette if I feel like being a little extra and sparkly, and we can have an extra sparkly moment. Especially if you don't want to buy one of the huge $125 palettes, I feel like this would be great because you can have that Pat McGrath sparkle and vibe going on, and you don't have to pay like a really high price just for her wonderful mattes. You can just have the special shades that everybody raves about, that they say makes her palettes justified to be the price they are. So this is the first mini palette I bought from the top Pat McGrath. Okay, Pat, I'm sorry. This is the Levian Rose. I like this one. The only thing is the purple shade in here. First of all, I don't like the packaging of this, but I don't think anybody does. We all complain about that, but yet Mother still does it. Like, Mother, please, we don't like the packaging. Please stop. But this Purple Rain shade right here, the only reason I don't like that is because it's like one of those cream. To me, it's like a cream to powder formula too. It seems that way to me, or it's more of, if they say it's like a pressed pigment, but it's supposed to be like a matte or something weird like that. I forgot exactly what's going on with that shade, but it's really difficult to blend, which makes me not necessarily like to use it that often. But I do like the color story in this palette. I think it's beautiful, and I just bought the matching like full-size palette to it, so we'll see how well they work together. So I'm going to leave this out so we can compare them. Add this to my box. I got a whole little box in the corner. Next, I feel like y'all know I was going to get this. This is the Dark Star palette. They actually don't have this one on her website anymore, so I don't know if this one sold out. And I think Bronze Temptation sold out too. Or they just got rid of it or something. I don't know. But this is what it looks like. The color story of this one isn't that great to me. I would have preferred to get a blue, like a navy blue matte to go in here in addition to that gray, and then she take like this dark gold out and just leave like that gold in, because I'm not really feeling the gold in this palette. But yeah, or maybe just leave this gold in and make this like a navy blue shade. I feel like that would have made it so much better, but you know, Mother likes her golds, and you know, I just have to accept that. I'm not big on golds though, so you know. And this is the Bronze Temptation palette. That's actually one of my favorite Pat McGrath lip glosses as well. Or is it Bronze Seduction? I know she has a lip gloss that I like. And then I like Divine Rose. So I think I bought that one too. I don't remember. I think I was supposed to buy a full size of Divine Rose. And I ended up not buying it because I have the small one. And it takes me forever to get through to her glosses. So I meant to get it. And I think I just ended up taking it out of my cart because I was trying to be good and not spend a whole bunch of money. Plus I had just bought a whole bunch of Hourglass ones that you all see in the Sephora haul. But this is what the palette looks like. I was so disappointed in this red shade Corruption, because like it's one of those shifter shades, and I was mad about that because it's like I wanted it to be the red that is here, but you see when you turn it, it turns into like this weird yellowish gold thing. So I was really upset with that one. Morgan Turner doesn't like this palette either. She was talking about how this was like one of her least favorite palettes, and then when she had ranked her holiday palettes one year, she was talking about like this one was lower down because of that. I'm like, I can see that though, because it's like you expecting it to have this bright, nice Christmas red, and then you put it on, it shifts to that weird, ugly color. Like, I don't know. I didn't like the color that it shifted to. If it shifted to a cooler color, maybe I'd liked it better. So that's why it's at the very bottom. Plus, it has a whole bunch of like neutral shades in it. And y'all know I'm not really big on those. So that alone was why I wasn't super excited about it. But let's go ahead and put this in here. Now we're going to get to my big Mothership palettes. I don't own that many, believe it or not. I didn't go buy every single Mothership palette there was, just because I don't like all the color stories of every single one. So the first one I bought was, of course, Mothership 1. Then I bought 5, and then I bought 7. So apparently I only like the odd number ones. The only even number one I like is the Decadence one. And I'm so excited, y'all. She's coming back out with that one on the, what is it, the 4th. So I think that's like a Tuesday at like, I think she said 9 a.m. or something. And I signed up for the email. So I will get it this time. Like, as long as she launches it on time like she's supposed to the first time, I will get it this time. Because I guess she found out a whole bunch of people were pissed that she didn't do it that way. So it's going to be in the gold packaging though, which I think is cool. Because now I don't have to have Star Wars packaging on it. I can get the original box that I really liked. And then I can still get the palette I want. But it can be in the cool gold packaging. Because I guess the time is up for the Star Wars thing or whatever. So she, you know. Anyway, this is what mine looks like. And this is when I found out about her special dual chroming shades. Now, I feel like I have a lot of shades that look like this one right here. But that blue is just everything. I don't have a lot that looks like this one, though. Even though I feel like my Terra Moon one kind of looks like this one. And then I'm not feeling that one right here. But this is just absolutely amazing. Like, look at it. It's just wonderful. That palette is what made me fall in love with Pat McGrath. When I saw it, I was just like, yes! And then I knew. And I was like, it's just, I just have to have it. I can't. I just have to. So I usually buy like myself I used to buy one expensive palette like this for myself when I didn't go on vacation for my birthday. But now since I have a channel, like I have to buy them more, which is fine with me because it's like I love Pat McGrath and I don't mind helping her out. Oh, let me turn this sideways so you can see. So the artwork on these is really cool too. That's why I feel like that's why everybody keeps them in the sleeves. Aside from the fact that, you know, it doesn't say on them which they are. This is the Bronze Seduction, yeah. So this is what it looks like. And look at the artwork. This looks like, I don't know why, but that makes me think of Janelle Monáe, like, when I see the packaging on this one. Anyway, I'm going to open up all of them so you can see what it looks like. Because it's not like we haven't already been here for a long-ass time anyway. Why the hell not? So yeah, and on the back of the palettes, if y'all notice, it just says Mothership. It never says which one it is. I figured that way it's easier to have to pay less for the components. Because if she wrote Mothership 5 on all of them, then, you know, she'd have to use different components each time. But this is what the inside of this one looks like. And this is everyone's favorite from what I've seen for the most part. I like it too. And I don't like warm tones, as you all know. But I feel like this is just such a beautiful warm tone palette. I'm obsessed with always using this shade. Whenever I use a palette, I always have to use this shade, and I usually use the green shade. So some shades and palettes, I just always want to use that shade because it's just amazing. And in this palette, that's definitely the ones I always like to use. I'm going to try to make myself use some other ones in it another time and use this palette another time. Because I want to do a series where I just start using all my expensive palettes too. But it's like I want to be like able to go somewhere. So once they like let us out in like June, then maybe I'll start using, you know, like more. I know I'm going to get some like hair put in. Because I usually get my hair put in around May. And like we're in May now. And I heard Chicago's supposed to be off house arrest May the 19th. I'm not sure how true that is. I'm hoping though. But this is the Divine Rose. And I just realized like I have like the lip glosses to match the palettes I like. I just thought about that now. Sorry, I forgot to turn it sideways. Like, look at these. They just look gorgeous. Like, the last two have just reminded me of Janelle Monáe. Like, I could see her, like, posing for something like this. And it just being absolutely splendid and amazing and wonderful. Now, I don't necessarily like the way these are packaged. But I always love the artwork. So I just, like, keep them in there. My last two palettes, though, I feel like the packaging is kind of, like, ripping off or whatever. This is what the palette looks like on the inside. I know she restocked this and it came to Sephora finally. So if you got it during the sale, congratulations. Because I know a lot of people have been wanting this forever. And I had to get it like from her when it first came out. Because I like to order them when they first come out from her. So even if there's not a sale at Sephora, I know I at least get that 10% off. So like I don't have to pay the taxes on the palette. Which I appreciate. I look at this color. It's just gorgeous. Look at it. That's why I was saying I like the shimmers, the special shades in here more than the other one. Now I did not like the Midnight Sun. I don't know what it was about the color story. It was just weird to me. So I was like, I can't get it. But when this one came out, and we know I love cool tone mauve shades, I had to have it. So we have finished with all of my eyeshadow palettes. I know, right? It took like damn near 2 hours to get all this done, right? That's insane. But the drawer is quite bare and empty now. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Now I don't even know if I want to film the whole video, y'all, because this took so damn long. So I'm just like, ooh. Anyway.